So I am your Olympiad trainer, Mrs. Arpita Sisodia, and I have been into the field of education for more than 10 years now, and I will be your mentor in today's session. So before we start the session, let us introduce each other, isn't it? So I just want you all one by one to unmute yourself and give me your introduction. So we will start with Aryan Raj. Aryan, unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Aryan Raj and I'm from grade 4, School Whitefield.
Okay, welcome Aryan. Now
Hello, ma'am.
next is Moksh.
Ma'am, my name is Mokshneel. I study in Somerville School, Delhi.
Okay, welcome Moksh, welcome. Then we have Somil Sahu, isn't it? Am I pronouncing it right? Okay, yes, Somil.
My name is Somil Rao. I am from Delhi Public School, Gandhinagar.
Okay, welcome, welcome. Then Atiksh Mishra.
My name is Atik Mishra. I study in Sanskriti, the school, and I study in class 4.
Okay, Atiksh, welcome. Then Ashley, unmute yourself.
My name is Ashley Denny. I study in school ISWK and I study in class 4.
Okay, Ashley, welcome.
Thank you.
Then we have Manha. Manha, unmute yourself.
Namaste, ma'am. I am Anha.
Namaste, welcome.
I am in 4D and I study in Shriram School.
Okay, very good. Then I think, are we done? Is anybody left now? Has
Ma'am,
everybody?
I am left.
Okay, okay, come on. Unmute yourself and give me your introduction.
My name is Adya Paul. I am from Maharashtra and I study in Atomic Energy Central School number 4.
Okay, Adya, welcome to the online session. I think we are done with the introductions. So before I start the session, children, I want you all to brief you all about NSO. What is the importance of NSO? So, children, we are living in the world driven by science and technology. And science is one of the most important channels of knowledge, and it is vital for creating new knowledge and adding quality to your life. So, because all of this Science Olympiad is now its main aim is to inculcate the spirit of competition in you. Developing scientific aptitude among you is the main aim of Science Olympiads. And National Science Olympiad is one such platform for showcasing the talent of young learners like you. It helps in inculcating the spirit of competition among children. It gives them self confidence. So it brings all round holistic development. Okay. So NS was a very important aspect in today's scenario. So with this positive note, we shall start the session. The topic for today's discussion is plants. My slide is not moving. I think there is some network issue. Children, please wait, hold on. I'm sharing again. Usha ma'am, my slide is not moving somehow.
Close your PPT and open again.
Okay, fine. For that, I need to stop sharing, no? Okay, the topic for today's discussion is plants. So, children, you all must have seen different types of plants growing in your surroundings. You also have studied about plants in your previous class. So, in this session, we will learn about plants in some more details, like how are plants important to us, what are general characteristics of plants, and how do plants prepare their food. So, let us start. Children, the living world is full of diversity. Okay, it has a vast variety of different types of plants and animals, different types of organisms. So you can broadly classify living world into plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Plant kingdom includes all the plants present on earth, whereas animal kingdom, it includes different kinds of animals present on earth. So animal kingdom is dependent on plant kingdom in different ways. Now let us see how. So children, plants are one of the most amazing creation of nature. They are the only living organisms who can prepare their own food. Okay? And they not only prepare food for themselves, they also provide food to all the animals on earth. Animals cannot make their food, so they depend on plants directly or indirectly for food. Now, what is directly and indirectly? See, animals can be of different types based on their feeding habits. Some are plant eaters or herbivores. Some are animal eaters or flesh eaters or carnivores. Still, there are some animals who eat both plants and meat. They are omnivores. Suppose I take an example of an animal, a rabbit. Okay. If a rabbit is hungry, what will it do? It will go and grab a carrot or it will eat some grass. So it is depending on plants directly for food. It is going to the plants, it is eating them. Okay. But if I ask you, if I say an animal called wolf, wolf is a carnivore. So if wolf is hungry, it is not going to plants to eat them. Then how can we say that wolf is dependent on plants? Children, we can understand it in a different way, like wolf, it is eating small animals like rabbits. Okay, rabbits or other plant eaters. If I remove all the plants from earth, then what will plant eaters eat? Animals like a rabbit, rat, deer, they depend on plants for food. If there are no plants, there will be no plant eaters. And if there will be no plant eaters, there will be no animals who eat these smaller animals. So if there will be no rabbit like animals, there will be no wolf like animals. So animals like carnivores, they do not depend on plants directly for food because they are not eating plants directly, but they are dependent on plants for their food because the animals on whom they are preying upon, they are eating plants. Is the point clear to all of you? Show me thumbs up, everybody. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
so,
Who's this?
yeah, ma'am, Aryan Raj.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're telling that if the plants are gone,
Hmm.
then the plant eaters will die, and then there will be no food for the carnivores. So that's the
Yes.
way it's crucial for existence.
That is why it is crucial for you. Absolutely correct. So you got the point. That's what I was explaining. Is it clear to everybody?
And then
Yes.
also, like,
Manha is raising hands.
ma'am,
Okay, maybe by mistake. Maybe by mistake. Yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
yeah, ma'am, I also have one more thing.
Please go
The
ahead.
like in the food chains, the energy from the plant also goes to the carnivores, or the energy only for the from the flesh they're eating.
Energy from plant goes to all the animals one by one. The amount of energy is different, but energy is obtained from plants only. Plants is giving energy to herbivores, and from herbivores, that energy is being transferred to carnivores. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So shall we move ahead? So
ma'am,
children, yes, Ashley wants to say something.
ma'am, if there was no carnivorous animals, then what will happen, ma'am?
Again, the food chain will be disturbed, Ashley. That is why nature has made this food chain. Animals, our plant eating animals are there, animal eating animals are there. So to maintain a balance, a food chain is there. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So children, can anybody tell me what else do we need to stay alive apart from food? Only raise your hands to stay alive. Aryan will answer the question. Yes, Aryan?
We only don't need food, also need air and water.
All right, we also need air and water. So you know what? This uh, air, we need oxygen of air to breathe in, isn't it? So what you know, plants, they not only give us food, they also give us oxygen. See how crucial they are for our existence, isn't it? They are giving us food, they are giving us oxygen. How they are giving us oxygen, that we will study later further in this session. So now we have learned that plants, they are crucial for our existence because they give us oxygen, they give us food, and all the animals, they depend on plants directly and indirectly for food. We get many other important items from plants like spices, medicines, and rubber. Let us see how plants are useful to us in other ways. What else do they give us? See, plants are useful to us in different ways. Some of them have been listed. Soaps and shampoos have vegetable oil which are obtained from plants. Have you heard that advertisement? Neem soap. They say na, it is made of neem, इसमें चंदन के गुण हैं. So how does this neem and chandan ke gur come? They are actually the vegetable oil, that is neem oil, that is chandan oil. It is put while preparing these soaps and shampoos. So it is an important ingredient. Then we get the different cooking oils from plants like coconut oil, mustard oil, peanut oil, sunflower oil. These are all obtained from plants. Then stem of bamboo plant, it gives us paper. Paper is obtained from the stem of bamboo plant. And then we get many fibers from plants like cotton, jute, flax. They are used for making different fabrics. We get juice from the rubber plant. That rubber is used for making tires. And then we get wood from the trees of different plants like shisham, teak. So you see, so much of utilities there. Plants are so crucial for us. They not only are required for our survival, but even for sustaining our lives. Even then, we need plants in different aspects. Okay. So this much is clear to all of you. Okay, now I would like one child to tell me any other food, any other item obtained from plant apart from this. Can anybody tell? The one who have not answered. Okay. Who's raising hands? Moksh. Moksh, will you tell the answer? Any item which is obtained from plants apart from all this which I have discussed? Just try. Anybody can give the answer. If somebody who
Perfume.
Oxygen.
Perfume.
perfumes, very good. Who answered that?
Ma'am, I'm Moksh.
Moksh. Okay, fine, Moksh. Thank you so much. Now mute your mics. Children, I hope this much is clear to you that plants are useful to us in different ways. Now let us study about the general characteristics of a plant. So here you can see the picture of a plant. Any plant has 5 important parts. These are roots, stem, leaf, flowers, and fruit. Now let us study them one by one. So root is the underground part of a plant. It is present in the soil, okay? And two very important functions of root are, root helps in fixing the plant to the soil because it is a branch structure. You can see these are fine branches. They firmly grip onto the soil particles and they help the plant to stand erect, okay? Then it also helps in absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Children, minerals are present in the soil, and when we put water in that soil, minerals, they get dissolved in the water. And that mineral rich water, it is taken up by the roots of the plants. So two main functions of roots are absorption of water and minerals from the soil and fixing the plant to the soil. Then we have this cylindrical green above ground portion. It is called the stem of the plant. Now stem can be soft and green, stem can be thin and woody, or it can be very thick and woody. Now can anyone tell me an example of a plant where soft and green stems are found, and what are they called?
Herbs.
Uh, who's this? Who answered?
Ma'am, I'm Moksh.
What are they called?
Herbs.
They are called herbs. Can you give me an example of a herb, Moksh?
Mint.
Mint is a herb. Now, Manha, can you give me example of a herb? Any herb?
मुझे कर देखो ना अपने स्क्रीन पे देखो हम तो सुन रहे हैं देखो मोबाइल दे रहे
Those who have soft and green stems.
Ma'am,
Yes, try. Yes.
ma'am, Pudina.
Pudina is mint only, beta. It is mint. Any other plant? Coriander. Okay. Coriander, then spinach.
Curry leaves. Curry leaves.
Kareli?
Curry leaves.
Curry leaves. Curry leaves are not exactly herbs. They come in the category of shrubs. You can see that their stem is woody. It is little woody. It is not green and very soft. Okay. Now,
Ma'am, banana tree.
banana tree is a herb. Okay, fine. Now, children, mute your mics and we will proceed further. Now, see, stem can be green and soft, as already you all know that herbs have green and soft stems. Then we come to the category of other plants called shrubs. They have thick, thin and woody stem. Their stems is woody, but it is thin. It is not very thick, like rose plant. Okay, rose has thin woody stem. And then we have trees. Trees have very broad and thick stem. That is called trunk. Okay, it is called trunk. So stem, the main function of a stem is the conduction of water, minerals and food. The water which is taken up and minerals which is taken up by roots, it is distributed to all the plant parts via stem, through the stem. Similarly, the food which is prepared in the leaves, it is again distributed to various plant parts through the stem. So the major function of stem is conduction of water, minerals and food. Now we come to leaves. Here this is a flat structure, you can see green flat structure. These are called the leaves of the plant. A plant can have many leaves, large number of leaves. And leaves, they are green in color due to the presence of a pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, the pigment is called chlorophyll that gives green color to the leaves. Also, it helps in the process of food making. So, without leaves, a plant cannot prepare its food. Leaves are also very important organs of the plant. Then, flowers. Flowers are the most attractive part of a plant. They can be of various shapes, they can be of various colors, and some of them are very sweet smelling. Just recall the smell of a rose flower. It is so pleasant, isn't it? A flower is present on a plant. Yes, somebody is saying something. No? Moksh, why have you raised your hands, beta? Do you want to ask something?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, flower is present on a plant only when it becomes mature. A baby plant never bears a flower. When a plant grows, it bears a flower. Flower changes into fruit. All right. When the plant becomes older, the flower, it gets converted into a fruit. See, here are the fruits. And currently, it is summer season, and all the children, they are fond of mangoes. So, you all must be eating mangoes, isn't it? Now, when your mama gives you mango, there is a central hard part in it. Have you seen that hard part which you cannot eat? What is it?
Yes, it
Yes,
is seed.
it is
It's a
seed.
pit. It's a pit.
And you also eat watermelon. Watermelon also has seeds, isn't it? And they
Yes.
bother a lot while eating, isn't it? Lots of seeds come. They have to be removed before eating. So children, fruits can be single seeded. They can have one seed, or they can be multiple seeded, many seeded. All right. Now, fruits like mango have single seeds, watermelon has many seeds. Now, any child, I would take the name of a child who will tell me a plant, a fruit which has many seeds. Sawmill. Sawmill, will you answer? Yes. Unmute yourself.
Ma'am, papaya.
Very good. Papaya is a multi-seeded, many-seeded fruit. Fruit contains seeds and seeds have baby plant in them. Do you recall that activity when your teacher asked you to sow some moong seeds or rajma seeds and in a
Ma'am.
soil? Yeah, and you used to water it daily. What did you observe?
Germination.
Germination. What is germination?
The
A
growing
plant
of the
growing
seed.
from it.
Adya will answer.
We
Yes,
will
Adya?
observe that slowly the small plant is growing from the seed.
Yes, that is germination. A seed has a lower down your hand, Aryan. Thank you. Lower down your hand. She has given the answer. See,
Ma'am,
yes,
lychee is also an example of one-seeded fruit.
yes, correct, correct. So a seed has a baby plant in it, and when it gets favorable conditions, the baby plant it comes out. So if somebody asks you what is the function of a flower, what will you say? It helps the plant to produce baby plant because flower converts into fruit and fruit has seeds in them. Fruits are mostly edible. We eat the fruit and we throw the seeds. So it helps in dispersal of seeds, distribution of seeds, and seeds when they fall on the soil, a new baby plant grows from there. So I hope this much is clear to all of you. Now let us give some practice to our learning, whatever we have learned till now. So children, here is a question. Refer to the given figure and answer the question. Here you can see it is a potted plant and one of its part has been labeled. First of all, you have to identify the part and then you have to select the correct option regarding it. I am reading the options for you and the child with whom I'll ask the question, only he will unmute. Rest of them will write their answers in the chat box. Okay. If we remove X in a plant, it will not be able to absorb water and minerals from the soil, not be able to prepare its food, not be able to produce baby plants, not be able to stand erect. So, come on, I will ask Srijan. Srijan, give me the answer. Okay, Manha has given the correct answer. Moksh has given the correct answer. Ashley has given the correct answer.
Ma'am,
Most of the
it's
children
the
have given.
flower.
Yes, correct answer. Shrijan, absolutely correct. So the correct answer is option C.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, this flower, when it become mature, then it will be like a fruit,
Yes.
and then in that fruit it will be a seed.
Yes, absolutely correct. Flower changes into fruits and fruits have seeds in them. Seeds contain baby plant. Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us proceed further. Preparation and storage of.
Ma'am,
Yes, who's this?
ma'am, it is not compulsory that in every plant, every flower will convert into fruits
It
like
is, it is,
sunflower.
no, that also, it is necessary, Adya. Every flower converts into fruit. It depends which fruit is edible. Okay. We know only those fruits which we eat. Okay. Which the fruits which we don't eat, we do not know much about them. Sunflower also produces fruits, but that are not edible. So that is why you don't know about them. But it is a compulsory rule that every flower will convert into a fruit. Very good question, Adya. Now, we will study about preparation and storage of foods in plants. Now, we have just learned that plants depend on their leaves to make food. Hence, leaves are also called food factories of plant. They are also called kitchen of plants. So, in order to understand the food making process, it is necessary to understand the structure of a leaf. All right. So, a leaf has following parts like leaf apex, leaf blade, veins, petiole, and stomata. Let us see in this figure. So, children, this upper pointed portion, it is called leaf apex. The point where the two margins of the leaf they meet, it is called leaf apex. And this flat extended portion, ये जो structure, flat structure है, it is called the leaf blade. We also call it lamina. What it is called? Lamina. And the lower portion where this particular stalk-like thing, it is also called petiole. Petiole helps the leaf to attach with the stem. Leaves are present on the stem and their branches. So the portion through which they are attached to the stem, it is called petiole. And here you can see this is the mid portion, mid line which is running from the petiole to the leaf apex. It is called the mid vein or the midrib. And then there are so many small thin veins coming out from this mid vein, and they are forming a network. These are called side veins. So their function is transportation of water, mineral and food within the leaf. Okay, leaf is such a big structure. Each and every corner should reach, food should reach each and every corner, water should reach everywhere. So they have this branching network of veins. These veins, mid veins, side veins, they have pipe-like structures in them that help in the conduction. Okay, so here the leaf has these main parts called leaf apex, where two margins of the leaf they meet. Then the flat structure of the leaf, it is called leaf blade or lamina. Then it is midrib, the central part of the leaf, and then side veins. And the stalk of the leaf through which it is attached to the stem, it is called petiole. And then if you will closely observe the undersurface of a leaf in a microscope, okay, or a hand lens, you will see this small pores, aerating pores. They are not visible to your naked eyes. If you will try to see a stomata on the undersurface of leaf with your naked eyes, you can't do that. They are so small. So you can observe the undersurface of a leaf under a microscope and you will see small pores on the undersurface. Many pores are there. These pores are called stomata and they help in gaseous exchange. They help the plant to breathe. They help the plant to take in oxygen. They help the plant to take other gases while preparing food. And gases also leave from the same point. Means it is the point of gaseous exchange. It helps the plants to take in gas and breathe out gas. Similarly, you can compare it with your nostrils. Okay, your nostrils have two holes in it, and you take in, when you breathe in, air goes inside your body, and when you breathe out, air leaves your body. Similarly, when the plant takes in air, it enters through stomata, and when it leaves air, it removes air, these are released from the stomata again. The stomata are the aerating pores in the surface of the leaves. Is that much clear to all of you? Show me your thumbs ups. Everybody understood the topic? Very good. Manha has understood. Moksh, you are sitting quietly. Haven't you understood?
Ma'am, I have understood.
Okay. Everybody has understood?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
You have a doubt?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
It's Aryan
ask.
Raj.
Aryan, okay, Aryan, come on, ask.
Okay, yeah, ma'am. So this tomato is always like present on the underside of the leaf, right?
It is not always, beta. Don't say always, because it may be present on the upper surface also. In a general plant, their number is lesser on the upper surface and more on the lower surface. But the plants which are present in water, the stomata are sometimes are absent on the lower surface and present on the upper surface. So it is very it is situational. Okay, I am talking about a general plant. कि ये stomata, they are more on the lower surface, but they can be present on the upper surface also, and they can be absent from the lower surface also, depending on the habitat where the plant is found. Okay.
But what about the submerged plant, like the ones which are like
Submerged
low
plants?
below?
Yes, of course. Submerged plants, they have gaseous exchange through their entire body. There is no specific part where from there they can, because there is no function of stomata over there. They are absorbing oxygen directly from water. Submerged plants, okay. So they can do it through their general body surface, throughout their body surface. Is that clear, Aryan?
Yes, ma'am.
Good question. So shall we proceed? Now,
Ma'am, I have grown a muskmelon plant.
Moksh has grown a muskmelon plant.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so fruits. Did you eat the fruits of that plant?
No,
Is it
it
fruit?
has a fruit. It is a little fruit.
Okay. Okay, very good, Moksh. Next time I will ask you to click the picture of that fruit and we will see in the class how much
Okay, ma'am.
melon are growing. Okay, now mute yourself, children. The next topic is photosynthesis, the process of making food. Okay. Now, children, the process by which green plants make their food using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is known as photosynthesis. If you break this word photosynthesis, it will say photo means light and synthesis means making. The food which the plants make in the presence of sunlight, in the presence of chlorophyll, the process is called photosynthesis. And here is the simple equation where you can see carbon dioxide and water, they are the raw materials of photosynthesis, whereas glucose and oxygen, they are the products of photosynthesis. Now, glucose here is the food. Glucose is a kind of carbohydrate. You have read in your previous classes the food nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. So this is a kind of carbohydrate, glucose, okay? And here in this picture, you can see that this is a plant growing in an open garden. Sunlight is falling on it. So what will the leaves do? Leaves, they will take carbon dioxide from air through their stomata. So stomata helps the air, helps the leaves to take carbon dioxide directly from air. And then the chlorophyll present in the leaves, it helps to trap sunlight. All right. And now water is taken up by the roots of the plants. Now the plant has all the raw materials. It has carbon dioxide, it has water, and it has sunlight. What will it make? It will make its food, glucose, and in this process, oxygen is also formed. So children, in the very first slide, I told you that plants, they give us food and they also give us oxygen. From where does this oxygen come? From the food making process. Okay. So oxygen is released in the air through the stomata. Glucose is stored in the plant. So this much is clear to all of you. It is very simple process. Carbon dioxide and water are raw material and glucose and oxygen.
Ma'am, glucose,
Yes.
glucose is a type of sugar, right?
Yes, glucose is a kind of sugar, simple sugar. And sugars are carbohydrates, isn't it? Now, important points to keep in mind. Children, we are here to take Olympiads, right? So we need to give some extra edge to our preparation. Questions like this come in your exams where children, they get confused. So let us see what points do we need to keep in mind. Plants prepare glucose, that is food, by photosynthesis, which they use for getting energy, producing more branches and leaves, making flowers, fruits, and seeds, and repairing damaged parts. So, children, plants, they also use food for getting energy and for growth and development, like producing more branches and leaves, making flowers, fruits, and seeds. These are all growth. A plant is making new leaves, it is making flowers, means it is growing. And sometimes in nature, some animal, they trip on some leaves or some branches, they hurt the plants, so plants, they get damaged, so they repair their damaged parts using the energy from the food. All right. Now plants prepare their food in the form of glucose, that is the carbohydrate. But you have to keep in mind the extra glucose which is left behind after all these usages, it is stored in the form of starch in different parts of the plants like stems, roots, leaves, flowers, and fruits. Is that clear? Glucose is the preparatory product, whereas this glucose is stored, it is converted into starch, and then it is stored in the plant parts. Both glucose and starch, they are types of carbohydrates. Okay, is that clear? ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आपको एग्जाम में मिलेंगे, उसमें कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए कि plants, they prepare their food in the form of glucose, but they store it in the form of starch. Is that clear to everyone? Now, let us. Somebody has raised hands. Children, you want to ask something?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, it's Aryan again. So what is cellulose?
Cellulose is also a type of carbohydrate. You will study in your higher classes. It is a complex sugar. Okay. It is a complex sugar. It is present in plants. It is also present in, but our body is not able to absorb it. Okay.
So it's like fiber and roughage.
Yeah, it gives you fiber, it gives you roughage, it adds roughage to your body. This all you will study in your next chapter, food. All right?
Then, okay, yeah, ma'am.
Yes, Aryan? Now, shall we proceed further? This is an activity time. Now, let us prove that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Now, important things which are needed for this experiment are a potted plant, a beaker, water, spirit, iodine solution, and dropper. Okay. So, in this method, a healthy, well-watered potted plant, it is to be kept in a dark room for a day or two. All right. And then a leaf is plucked from this plant, this particular plant, and it is boiled in water. Here you can see this is setup one. This is a tripod stand, and this is a spirit burner. Spirit is again alcohol, okay? And then this heat is provided to this beaker. In this water is kept, and this green leaf is put in this beaker. It is boiled. After some times, this green leaf, it is taken out and it is put in a test tube. This long elongated pipe, it is called test tube, and some ethanol is added to the test tube, that is again alcohol, and that this leaf, it is put in this ethanol, and this entire setup, it is kept on a beaker which contains water, and it is heated again. So leaf is first boiled in water, and then it is boiled in alcohol, and then the leaf, it is washed in cold water. The purpose of boiling leaf in water and alcohol is to decolorize it, remove its green color, so that the results of the test can be visible, can be obvious. So here, after the leaf has been has been washed in the cold water, it is put on some flat surface or a petri dish. This is a petri dish, and then a few drops of iodine solution are added to it. Now, children, what happens when something contains starch? Then iodine test is positive. When you put iodine on it, it will turn blue black. And when something does not contain starch, there will be no color change. So in this particular experiment, you will see that the leaf has not changed color. Now the reason behind is there was no starch in the leaf. The plant was kept in dark. It was not getting it was not getting light. It was not able to do photosynthesis, and there was no storage of starch. So as the starch was absent, that is why iodine solution did not uh, induce the color change. Here, the leaf will appear like this without any color change. This shows that there was no starch formation. And what all this indicates? That sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Without sunlight, there will be no food making process. There will be no food. There will be no storage of food as in the form of starch, and there will be no result of starch test. No positive result.
Ma'am,
Now,
I joined now because I have some internet issue. My laptop got a hard shut.
you
But
have not heard this activity.
no, ma'am, I have joined now.
This activity shows that if a potted plant is kept in a dark room where there is no sunlight, the plant will not be able to prepare its food. We will leave the plant in this setup for 1-2 days, and then we will pluck a leaf from this plant, and this leaf will be first boiled in water, and then it will be boiled in alcohol. All its color will be removed. It will become decolorized, pale. This pale leaf will then be washed in cold water, and few drops of iodine solution will be added to this leaf. Iodine reacts with starch and it forms blue-black color. When a substance contains starch, iodine test is positive and blue-black color appears. When the test is negative, the substance does not contain starch, then the test will be negative and there will be no color change. As the leaf was not able to prepare food, there was no storage of starch and the test was negative. Okay? This shows that sunlight is necessary. Now we will do another question. Children, see carefully. Refer to the given paragraph and select the correct option. This kind of questions, they come in NSO. You will be given a paragraph, you will be asked to identify certain things, and then you can be asked correct and incorrect regarding them. So, X present in leaves of plants helps in gaseous exchange during breathing and photosynthesis. Y present in leaves helps to trap sun's energy and gives green color to the leaf. Now you have to identify X and Y.
E.
All of you write your answers in the chat box, and Ashley will give the answer. Okay, Ashley?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it is D because tomato is in the leaf. It is a very small hole in the leaf which cannot be seen.
Correct.
And chlorophyll is the green pigment on the leaf that colors the sunlight and gives
Well
photosynthesis.
explained, Ashley. You've already explained everything. I need not explain anything now. Okay, very good. So most of you have given the correct answer. Everybody has given the correct answer. Very good. So children, it's very obvious that X here is tomato and Y here is chlorophyll. Now, in order to select the correct answer, you need to see that both the variables, they are correct. So here X is tomato, Y is chlorophyll. So option D is the correct answer. All right. Now let us solve some workbook questions. Here, plants prepare their food in the form of glucose. See, this is the same question I was telling you. Plants prepare their food in the form of glucose. This food is used by the plants for making flowers and fruits, making leaves, repairing damaged parts, all of these. Adya will answer and rest will write in the chat box.
Ma'am, the answer is option B. Place near.
Answer is option D. Why? Because plant is using...
Using glucose for making flowers, fruits, and repairing damaged parts and making leaves. So these all are advantages they are getting
Yes.
from the glucose. So all of these is the correct option.
Very good,
D.
very good. Now you mute yourself, Adya. Now, Atiksh, am I pronouncing it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Atiksh Mishra, you will give me the answer for question number 10. The next question.
In which of these conditions the potent plant will be able to carry out the process making food?
Mm-hmm.
Then the option B.
Option B. Can you explain?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, because it is watering also well, and it is placing near the window, and that's why it get warmth and sunlight.
Very good, very good. Very good. Now you can mute your mic. In option B, all the raw materials are available. The plant is getting sunlight, it is getting water, it is getting air. So it will make food. In option A, it is kept in a cupboard. Sunlight won't penetrate the wooden cupboard. So it will not get sunlight. In option C, the leaves have been smeared with Vaseline. That means Vaseline has been applied on the leaves. So stomata will not function properly. उसके ऊपर स्टिकी चीज लग जाएगी तो स्टोमेटा कैसे एयर एक्सचेंज में काम करेगा. सो दिस विल ऑल्सो नॉट फोटोसिंथेसाइज. एंड ऑप्शन डी में क्या है, ड्राई सॉइल इन द पॉट है, सो वाटर इज नॉट देयर, सो प्लांट विल नॉट बी एबल टू फोटोसिंथेसाइज. Now, this is a table showing different parts of plants used as food. So, abhi we have just studied that plants, they store their food in different plant parts as starch. So, in some plants, roots are edible like dahlia, carrot, sweet potato, radish. And in some plants, stems are edible like stems of sugarcane, potato, onion. Then we eat the leaves of spinach, coriander, and mint. Then seeds of coffee, pulses, and rice are eaten. We eat the flower of broccoli and cauliflower, and we eat the fruits of mango, apple, papaya, and guava. So, children, you all know these things, and we will give a practice to what we have learned just now. Here is a question for you. Refer to the given diagram. It is a Venn diagram, children. Okay, it is a Venn diagram. It is a diagram of overlapping circles. All right, here we can see there are two circles which are overlapping, and each circle has its characteristics. Something is written. So the first step in such kind of questions is to identify what the Venn diagram is talking about. Okay, here you see seeds are edible, leaves are edible, means something related to the edible parts of the plant we are talking about. Now we have to see what are X, Y, and Z. So children, this overlapping portion of the circle means that the plant X, if suppose X is a plant, it will have both the characteristics. It will have the characteristics of both the circle. Means X is supposed to be a plant whose seeds are also edible and whose leaves are also edible. But if we talk about Y, Y is a plant whose seeds are edible, but leaves are not edible. Whereas Z is a plant whose leaves are edible, but seeds are not edible. Now we need to find out what are X, Y, and Z. So here are your options. Let us discuss this question. In option A, X is coriander, Y is cauliflower, Z is sugarcane. Let us see, can X be coriander? Yes, X can be coriander because we eat the leaves also and seeds also of coriander. But Y cannot be cauliflower because we eat the flower of cauliflower, and here Y is supposed to be any plant whose seeds are edible. Similarly, Z cannot be sugarcane. We eat the stems of sugarcane. We don't eat the leaves of sugarcane. So option A has been ruled out. Then let us come to option B. Here X cannot be radish because radish ka we eat roots. But here X is a plant which has both seeds and leaves edible. Okay, we can eat the leaves of radish. Some people eat it, but seeds are not edible. So X is incorrect. As one of the variables is incorrect, the entire option is incorrect. You need not see the other variables because it will be just a wastage of time. As already X is incorrect, so entire option is incorrect. Now let us see option C. X can be coriander. Yes, because we eat the seeds of coriander and we also eat the leaves of coriander. Then Y can be pea. We eat the seeds of pea. All right. And we eat the leaves of spinach. As all X, Y, and Z, they are correct. So option C seems to be the correct answer. Now also consider option D. X is cabbage. X cannot be cabbage because we don't eat the seeds of cabbage. So X is incorrect. Option D entirely is incorrect. So the correct answer is option C. Is the question clear to all of you children?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes, Ashley.
Ma'am, how do it be see because coriander doesn't have peel?
धनिया. Coriander is dhania. Ask your mama. धनिया की जो बीज होती है, it is also used as spice. Dhania powder. Have you heard about dhania powder? That is grinded seeds only. Okay. Okay. Then let's discuss one more question. I want one child to answer it, and rest of them will write in the chat box. This time I want who's left? Is any child left with whom I have not asked any question?
Ma'am, I think
Ma'am,
you asked me. Ma'am, Aryan?
Aryan, I have not asked any question from you.
No, ma'am.
Chalo, go ahead, Aryan. Try to solve this question, and rest of the children, they will write in the chat box. And I will explain this question to you. I'm giving you some time because it's a lengthy question. It will take time.
Ma'am, it's B.
It's B.
Yes, ma'am.
How can you explain it? Go ahead and explain.
Because cabbage is vegetable, because R, which is a leaf, cabbage is an edible leaf. Then
Okay.
S, which is the fruit. And then cotton, the cotton plant, we obtain cotton from the fruit of cotton plant, right?
Yes.
So,
do you know
cotton
what is the name of that fruit? What do we call it?
no.
It's called cotton ball. As simple.
Yes,
Yes.
so it's B.
Let me see what children have written. Oh, everybody has given the correct answer.
Ma'am, why could it be A? Because sweet potato also
Some
has the stem.
I will explain everything. Adya, you have written C, beta. It is B. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you. Some children have given C also. So let me explain the question. Here, first of all, you need to identify the plant parts.
No, ma'am. B in the chat box.
You have written B? So sorry, beta. Let me see. Okay. Yes.
मैं ऐसे आंसर दे रहा
Yes. Right. Correct. Now let me explain you the question. Here in this figure, you have to just identify the labeled parts. So here you can see that P is root of the plant, Q is stem of the plant, R is leaf of the plant, S is fruit of the plant, and T is flower bud, kali. All right. Now we have now identified what are P, Q, R, S, and T. Now we need to see the option which correctly identifies these plant parts. all the combinations. In option A, we have pea radish as vegetable. Pea is correct. Radish is the root, is obtained from roots of the plants and it is used as vegetables. Q, sweet potato as vegetable. Now here Q is incorrect because Q is supposed to be a stem of the plant and sweet potato is the root of the plant. So as Q is incorrect, so option A is incorrect. Now let us come to option C. T, clove. You know what is a clove? Clove is a spice called long. All right. It is obtained from flower bud only. So T is clove. That is correct. And it is also used as spice. But P is cinnamon. Cinnamon is dalchini that is obtained from the stem of plants. But here we need to identify P. P is root. So cinnamon is not obtained from roots. And that is why it is incorrect. Option C is incorrect. Then T, fennel as spice. Tea is again flower bud and fennel is seeds. We eat the seeds of fennel. And R is correct because R here is leaf and spinach ka we eat leaves only. But as T is incorrect, so option D is also incorrect. Now coming to the correct answer, which is option B. Here,
Cabbage is from root.
cabbage is, we eat the leaves of cabbage. Cabbage, if we don't eat the root. See here, R is cabbage as vegetable. R is supposed to be leaf, edible leaf. So we eat the leaves of cabbage. And obviously, as Aryan told us, that cotton is obtained from the fruit of cotton plant. Here, S is supposed to be a fruit, and that fruit is called cotton ball. So option B, both the variables R and S are correctly identified. So option B is the correct answer. Okay, children. So, yes.
Ma'am, I didn't understand that we know that sweet potato is a root.
Yes.
But we also know that potato is a stem.
Yes.
But why they are different?
They are different because they are obtained from different plant parts. Sweet potato is a different thing. Potato is a different thing. Potato is stem and sweet potato is root. We have just given the name to them. Actually, these are different vegetables obtained from different plant parts. It looks like potato and it is sweet to taste. Maybe that is why it has been named commonly as sweet potato. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, I hope you have understood today's session.
Ma'am, I'm not understood this question. Second B question, why cabbage is not from the root?
Cabbage is a vegetable. R in this figure, R is supposed to be any edible leaf. Okay. So here we can put cabbage as R because we eat the leaves of cabbage, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So is that clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So children, this comes to the end of this session. I hope you all have enjoyed today's session. Give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed. Show me your thumbs up.
Ma'am, I don't want to show a thumbs up. I want to show a heart.
You want? Okay. Now, children, there is a quiz for you. Okay, there is a quiz for you. The link is posted in the chat box. Click the link and quickly do the quiz and come back. And then we will discuss the answers. All right?
Ma'am, I have difficulty in opening the link. It comes to connect it. So I copy and paste it in Google.
Do it that way. Are you able to access then?
Yes, ma'am. You can. Somebody is not able to just click on it. They can copy and paste. Even only in math also, they gave a link. I couldn't do it, so I copied and pasted it.
Fine, Ashley. Do it then. Do everybody do it? It's a very simple quiz. Just to see how much you have understood in today's session.
But one more thing. Ma'am, but one more thing. Like, if when a creeper is like planted and there's no like pole or support near it.
Yes.
It's like some kms far away. Then how will they like climb up and get support?
It needs to climb. You're talking about a creeper or a climber, Aryan?
A climber.
A climber needs support. Otherwise, it will also spread on the ground only. And it will not spread properly. It will clutter. you know, because it has that tendency to climb up. It has tendrils, it has structures to climb up. So it needs something to catch on to, and it will definitely go ahead, but in a cluttered manner. But as creeper, it grows in an organized manner. Okay, because it is adapted to do that ways. All right.
Okay.
Okay, children, have you done? Shall we discuss the quiz? If you have done, write in the chat box.
Ma'am, in first question I got wrong. I selected turnip.
Oh. Chalo, we'll discuss the quiz. Has everybody done? Or someone is still left?
Ma'am, I am done, ma'am, with my phone.
Okay, we shall now discuss the answers. So let me see. Aryan, you are done with the quiz?
Yes, ma'am, I'm done.
Moksh, you are done? Atiksh, you are done?
Yes,
Ma'am, I'm done.
Adya has done. Manha has done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, everybody has done. Now let us discuss the answers. So children, the first question was, which of the following is an edible stem? So here we have option A, carrot, option B, ginger, option C, turnip, and option D, radish. We know that carrot, turnip, and radish, these are edible roots, whereas ginger is edible stem. So here option B is the correct answer. Then question 2 was, we get paper from stem of cotton plant, bamboo plant, coconut plant, jute plant. So we have just studied that we get the paper from stem of bamboo plant. All right. Now, yes.
Explain the first question. I selected turnip instead.
But a turnip is a root. We eat the roots of turnip. We eat the roots of radish, and we eat the roots of carrot. But here the question is saying select the edible stem. So ginger is stem. Okay.
Ma'am, but we cannot see the stem in ginger.
Ginger, I didn't get you, beta. What do you want to ask, Ashley?
Ma'am, in ginger there is no stem. We cannot.
It is a modified stem. You will also study these things. Ginger is a modified stem. Okay, stem is modified to store food, and ginger is a modified stem.
Ma'am, even turnip also has the stem, that green color stem in the.
But actually the food, it is getting stored in the roots of turnip. It is not getting stored in the stem of turnip. All right, extra food, it is stored in the stem of turnip, root of turnip, sorry. So turnip is actually an edible root. We eat the roots of turnip, we eat the roots of carrot. ऐसे तो carrot में भी leaves होती हैं, but we don't eat them ना, we eat the रूट्स ऑफ कैरेट. तो जिंजर भी क्या है, जिंजर स्टेम है, अंडरग्राउंड स्टेम होती है, ये मॉडिफाई होती है ताकि वो देखने में आपको स्टेम जैसी नहीं लग रही होगी. आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट, बट व्हेन यू विल गो इन हायर क्लासेस यू विल लर्न द एंटायर स्ट्रक्चर हाउ इट इज कॉल्ड अ स्टेम. ओके.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now we have discussed question 1, question 2. Now question 3. Which of the following is the correct equation for photosynthesis? Here option C is the correct answer, because raw materials for photosynthesis are carbon dioxide and water. And the products of photosynthesis are glucose and oxygen. So option C is the correct answer. Option A, B, C ये सब confuse करने के लिए दिए हैं. These are all for confusing. All right. Then photosynthesis is the process by which plants digest their food, plants prepare their food, plants store their food, or plants consume their food. So obviously photosynthesis is the process by which plants prepare their food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and they form glucose, and oxygen is also a product of photosynthesis. Is that clear? Now, coming to the last question. Stalk of leaf is called petiole, margin, lamina, apex. Yes, stalk of the leaf is called petiole. So children, that's how we come to the end of the session today. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and we will meet soon in the next session. Till then, keep smiling, keep safe,
Bye.
stay home. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.